Michigan, it is 5:11 now as we wake up on what will be a fairly mild Monday. We kind of put that in quotation marks. Readings in the 50s. This will be our warmest day in at least 2 weeks, and perhaps even the warmest day we've got left in 2014. Colder air settles in starting tomorrow with falling afternoon temperatures, and a winter blast arrives starting Wednesday, and that's going to come along with the potential for accumulating snow and sharply colder air settling in through the weekend into next week. Temperatures outside this morning, upper 30s to low 40s, so a fairly mild start to the day, but you can see that area of cold air really starting to get banked in off to our northwest. 32 degrees now in Traverse City, 24 up at Mackinac Island, 18 in Marquette, 21 degrees up in Duluth. Here's a look at the winter weather alerts going on regionally. We've got winter storm warnings up through the UP, central and northern Wisconsin, back into Minnesota. What's going on here regionally? Well, in terms of precipitation, we had a little bit of a light mix during the overnight period, and you can see some snow is tracking off to our north. More snow back to our west and northwest. Wausau back into the Twin Cities, and this area of snow really intensifies in northern South Dakota, southern North Dakota, and all the way back out into central Montana. So we are looking at that as the first blast of snow moving into the region, and much of that will be tracking off to our north. You can see on the Futurecast computer models this area of precipitation lifting to the north along with the clouds. I actually think that we're going to see some sunshine today. So again, a fairly pleasant start to this work week. Clouds start to thicken up late tonight into early tomorrow morning, and then you can see that area of precipitation again mainly skirting to our north early tomorrow, a few sprinkles during the afternoon, and then that colder air will really start to wrap in here late Tuesday into the day Wednesday, and that comes along with that sharply colder air and accumulating snow showers. And boy, that is the pattern that we have to talk about here. Snow showers right through the end of the weekend into early next week. So meteorologist Matt Kirkwood has been analyzing the longer range computer models. And Matt, all weekend people were asking me, why is it that you're so convinced that this is going to be such a colder air mass?
There's a lot of variables we look at, Terry, and I attended the seminar this weekend at the National Weather Service, and there's a forecaster out there by the name of Bill Marino who went through this. I mean, he just loves winter weather, and this is one of his favorite things to do. And I wanted to share with you a couple things he pointed out. Now, this is the snow cover throughout North America, in particular Europe and Asia. If you have a certain amount of snowfall or snow cover in the month of October in Europe and Asia, every time, not sometimes, every time you get a cold winter, according to his data. And we ended up with the third most snow cover in Europe and Asia in the month of October since the satellite era began. That's one of them. Now let's go to the sea surface temperature. Something else we look at, if you recall, we had a very bad winter last year in the Great Lakes. One of the reasons why we had a warm pool of water in the Gulf of Alaska, and these temperatures indicate readings above or below average in terms of normal readings, where you can also see a lot of warm water in the central Pacific as well. That's called an El Nino, but not all El Ninos are created the same. If you have a weak to moderate El Nino, which we're expecting this year, you typically get a cold winter here in the Great Lakes, and along with this warm pocket in the Gulf of Alaska. What does this mean? Let's take a look at it, and it looks like a cold winter for us here across the board. And an earlier start to winter, we're going to see that coming in later this week, and it's going to last longer. And very few thaws, kind of what we saw last year as it looks at this point. And in terms of snowfall, when you have frequent bouts of lake effect or Arctic air, you tend to get more lake effect with a storm track farther south. So you're going to see large variations in the snow cover and snowfall here in southwest lower Michigan. So lakeshore areas obviously will get a lot of snow, while as you get inland, not as much.
Right, and it's really important to note this is sort of the winter weather season as a whole. System by system, the impact will be developing at different times on different days. So that's why it's important that you stay with us here at Storm Team 8. The arrival time of the first snowfall that we have. Make sure to keep checking back with Bill and Kyle later on tonight on 24-hour News 8 at 5, 5:30, 6, 10, and 11.
Okay.
All right.
That's why you need 5 of us to sort it out.
It takes a lot of work.